And on to our next project is this baby. Now, I redid this truck about 10 years ago. Painted it. This was what color I was going to paint the tractor, and then I went ahead and painted it a little bit different color. It actually looks purple out there right now. I got it running because where I was working on them lights, it kind of run the batteries down, so I was going to let it try to charge up some. Basically what we're going to do here is we're working on the bed. We're going to do some polishing on the wheels and polish on the battery box. Kind of clean them back up a little bit, but we're not going to do anything like we did, like repainting. I mean, the old girl still looks pretty good. It's got some new dents and scratches and stuff in it, but to be honest, it's working class. It'll be fine. This one does have a little Cummins in it, where my tractor's got a cat. This has got a Cummins. It's got a little 8.3. It's all manual, non-electronic. It's got a rod that runs from the fuel pedal out to the injector pump, and the only electric on it is a switch that turns the power, turns this plunger on and off to kill the engine. That's it. Everything else is manual. Now, this is a dump truck we've had for many years. It used to be a log truck, tandem long truck. It was a single axle with a drop. Then I cut it into a flatbed, and then I eventually cut it into this dump body. Now, this dump body come out of Akron, Ohio. And this dump body, cannot remember the maker of it off the top of my head, but it's a good built body. I got lucky, and I think it hauled blacktop and whatnot. I don't really think it ever hauled any salt. The only mangledness is what I did to it. This has been double plated. This is not the bed side itself. I actually rebuilt this body and put that on the outside. I thought that was going to look cooler than what it does. I thought that tread plate would look good, but a million times over, I wish that I would have turned it smooth or had it smooth. It's got some pretty good pop knots. You know, we work our trucks when we work our trucks. It's not something gentle. This is where a log rolled down and smashed the shield, hit the door, hit the step. You know, probably wouldn't hurt to put a shield on it. I'm not putting the shield on it. I think it passes inspection like this, so we'll be fine. You know, it's a good looking old truck. It is a working truck. So, and that paint has not been buffed. It has not been shined on, anything whatsoever in 10 years. When I paint them, I usually rub them back down with a polish. It's over there. I've done the same thing on the tractor, and that's it. I'm kind of lazy about doing it after I paint them. I'm just like over the fact that I got done with it. It's done. It's over with. I'm not cool with it. I'm gonna try to do a little bit better job at that this year. That's one of my things I want to try to do. I don't know how well we'll get it, but to the task at hand. We desperately need a new hydraulic tank. That tank right there has been on there. It's an old jalopy. It's junk. The straps broke. I actually welded it to the mount. There's a video on here where I did that. It needs to go. It needs to go. Problem is, I forgot to order one. So that's going to have to be a project of another day. I also wanted to change out my latches. Problem is, I forgot to order them. So we're going to have to reuse what we got. I may have to go back inside of here and kind of weld this and build this all back up. I don't know if we got that or not. Weld this up, built that back up. The pins are something to be desired. I mean, they're junk. I was going to build a new tailgate for this. And to be honest, I've lost all my mojo. Not really interested in building a new tailgate. The body's old. I'm not replacing the hinges, or I'm not replacing the latches. Why build a new tailgate? Now, what I do have in mind is I've got a set of locks. They weld about where that marker light's at is where they need to be, give or take. Between that marker and this tail light, they need to be in that area. And what it is you unscrew it. They got acne threads Acme threads. I think that's what it is. Acme threads, like a jack. And then you just flip it over on it, and then you tighten it back down, and it keeps the tailgate shut whenever your latches are weak or your latches don't latch right. And then when you get to where you're going with it, you take them loose. Now, my truck sees a lot of abuse. We dump big rocks and everything in it. And you see all this stuff here, that's for me doing a pond job, and we was backing the dump truck down in there, and he would slide down in. So I'd take my excavator bucket and I'd stop him, and then I'd load him up, and I'd take my excavator bucket and I'd push him up out of the pond. Well, that's where all this come from. Now, yes, it looks horrible. I don't really know how to fix it without putting a new tailgate on or building a new tailgate. And again, I don't want to build a new tailgate. I don't want to take a torch and cut all that out. So what I'm doing right now is I'm assessing what I'm going to have, and I'm making a material list so I can go get some material tomorrow. So right now what I'm looking at doing is possibly just adding some flat bar across and hiding all that damage. And I think I can take a torch and maybe heat up like these big spots maybe and try to smooth them over. I don't know. I really don't know. Or just leave it alone and be done with it. I wouldn't mind having something down here because this is kind of the worst of it, but there's a pretty big one right there. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, is I'm just trying to figure out what do I want to do with this truck. Do I want to do a complete total makeover and build a new tailgate? Not really. Does it need it? Probably. I don't remember how bowed it is. I don't think it's bowed real bad. It's a pretty straight tailgate. I think we straightened it up. I think I actually hooked the chain right down the center of it and pulled on it a half a dozen times, and I straightened the tailgate up. It's got some pretty good cracks. If you guys can see that, there you go. You see the daylight in there. It's got some pretty good cracks in it. It don't shut real tight in the bottom, which I could probably trim off this garbage right there. I could probably trim all that off, maybe even heat that back up with a torch and then go down through there and pry that shut. Again, I really don't know. I had to replace this back cross member. That's actually 2 pieces of double stacked 1.5 inch, 1/4 inch walled square tubing. And then I just welded a piece of flat bar across the face of it to dress it up. I actually replaced that cross member. The truck's in good shape. The bed's just not the best. So don't really want to spend 13 grand on another bed, and we're going to try to get another couple years out of this. The other thing I want to do away with is this bump board. I really hate this bump board. That's a 2x12, or that's actually a 2x10, and I need to get rid of that, or at least get it down to where it's only a 6-inch bump board. Now, my idea is you know, heavy duty C channel. Well, it's hard and very expensive to get 12-inch C channel. 10-inch, 6-inch, it's all expensive. So I'm actually thinking about doing some uprights and then just draping that with a piece of flat bar. Then I end up going right back to, it's an old bed, do what you gotta do, paint it, get it back out in the field. So that's where we're at. So let's get off here and do some measuring and do some configuring. Okay, it's the next day. We got it pulled in here and sent the Dillinger after the materials, and I stayed behind and started cleaning stuff up, cleaning stuff out, and I went ahead and on this back tailgate, I went ahead and got some flat bar to cap off all this nasty looking junk right here, and I went ahead and got some flat bar to do, which is going to increase my workload because now I got to beat all that up too, but it is what it is. Let's just get it done and get it behind us. I think we can get away with these dents and stuff up here on top. They're not going to be nowhere near as noticeable as these. These right here looks like garbage. And I really want to clean this thing up and get by with a couple years. So we might as well just go ahead and do it. Probably go back up and straighten up this flat bar down through here too, and pull it out, straighten it up, and I'm gonna weld a piece of either 1 or 2 pieces of a flat bar on its edge to kind of give that bar, that flat bar down through a little bit of a stiffener to it. That way maybe it'll kind of hold itself. I do have a break in my subframe. I gotta weld that up. It's the not the frame on the truck, but the subframe on the hoist. It's not real bad. It can't come out there, but I'm gonna go ahead and weld that up while I've got it in here and got it down. We're not gonna do anything with these bump boards. The cost of fixing it, I'm gonna be right. I already spent $1,400. Sorry, Miss K. I know you're gonna kill me. I spent $1,400 on material, but now the majority of that was for the floor. You take 3 sheets of 4x8 sheets of, and I just got 11 gauge. I just got 1/8 inch steel. I didn't get anything extra heavy duty. I didn't get anything heavy like 1/4 inch. There's no use. This old truck, it'll be fine. I don't care. I know I'm gonna get some flack on that, but hey, listen, 1/8 inch steel plate, laying flat, already on a steel floor. That's probably 1/4 inch. I think it's 1/4 inch floor in the bed of this thing anyway. It'll be fine. We're gonna run strips of 1/4 inch by 2 inch wide flat bar in the bottom of this thing to give it like an exoskeleton. So it really and truly, I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't know what it is. It's because I think might be just 1/8 inch to begin with. I think right there's the original floor. Yeah. I think it's 1/8 inch to begin with. So if 1/8 inch lasts me, 1/8 inch has lasted me 13 years or 12 years or whatever what it is. Another thing, an 1/8 inch ought to last me another 10 years. And if I get 10 years out of the truck, God love it's hard, it'll probably fall apart. So we're gonna be good shape. We're gonna be good shape with 1/8 inch reinforced floor. Again, you know, depending on the truck's health in a couple more years, I'll probably go have a new bed put on it. But right now, we're just gonna fix her upper. I got a piece of 4 inch flat bar to weld along here. This is 3 inch, so it's gonna hang down another inch. That'll be fine. I first thought about running a couple bolts through it, maybe 2 at every section or every pocket. I thought about just running some bolts through there and then just tying it together and then putting a bead of weld across the top. I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not. I'm probably just gonna lay it up there and just weld one side of it and just bead one side of it, and then maybe if I can try to pick a spot or 2 here and there that I know I've got some good steel in behind it left. Because like I said, all this here is rotted out bad. The passenger side rotted out real bad. Up through here it didn't, but right over top of that wheel, I don't remember driving it that much in the wintertime. I guess maybe I did for a while, delivering gravel, trying to make ends meet, but it is what it is. So I'll probably just maybe drill a couple holes out in my steel plate. And I think this stuff here is 1/4 inch because they didn't have anything real thin on a narrow gauge like a 4 inch. So I had to get 1/4 inch. I'm pretty sure for the sides I had to get 1/4 inch. So it should take a little bit more of abuse than what's laying here. This is rolled steel. This has got like a rolled bottom to it. It's got a flat bottom on it. We're not gonna put that back because again, we don't need all that. So it'll be a little bit wider around through it. I think that'll dress it up nice. It'll make it look a lot nicer. And of course we got the locks. I gotta go up to the old shop and get them. I thought I brought them down, but I guess I must have left them up there, but they weld. And they're gonna have to weld right here, so I'm gonna take out this light, to delete this light. Well, that's okay. I mean, I got these 2 up here. It ain't like I needed that one anyway. I think that one was already in there. That's the reason why it was in there. I think it was already in the truck. And I didn't cut these out. I'm pretty sure that them was already cut out. Somebody got pretty torch happy on that one. I know I didn't cut them out because I didn't have a torch years ago, so I didn't cut them out. I might go ahead and do some new chains. just because those are some really heavy chains. Like, you won't break those chains. I might go with a little bit lighter chain. Probably still going to remain the same way. I hook it up here and I bring it down, I wrap it. And the reason why that's on there is so you can let this tailgate down. So what you do is you take these pins out and this tailgate will fold down, and you take these chains and you hook them up here, and then that tailgate will lay straight out. We never use it like that. Never use it that way. So I don't even know why I even remain them up, or I probably ought to just cut them off. But if I do that, then that'll be the one time that I really need it. So I may cut them off and I may not. I don't know if you guys seen the inside of the bed or not, but it's pretty trashed. It's pretty much washboard. You got a hole right there. You got another hole right there. We got a big old hole in the side over there, and it looks like she's breaking apart right there. Now you look, that's slide marks. That's from years and years and years of using this unit, and it just kept sliding apart. I don't know how many times I've broke the top of that off using my backhoe to load. I mean, we beat and banged on this truck for years, but this is a bolt board on this side. I think that one over there is one of my sawed. That's what I say. By the time I'd engineer and cut something, make something up to delete these bump boards, I'm gonna be up there with quite a few $1,000s. My brother welded that rebar in the back to cover up the gap in the floor. Probably gonna have to leave it on there. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of backing up maybe. I might be able to just cap it off, I don't know, where I've welded that flat bar. I welded a piece of flat bar in here years ago to try to take up some slack on my tailgate. Then I gotta run a piece of flat bar on top of this. I don't know if I think I got a piece left out there that I can salvage. I don't know if I bought enough stuff to put on top or not, but if I didn't, sure enough, I'll have to make sure I do that. I was gonna build a new tailgate, and it just ain't worth it. I'll just leave it like it is. I can still, if I fix this bed, and I fix this old bed in this old truck, I can run that thing for a few more years and still sell it. Make a real good body for somebody just getting started and everything. I mean, shoot, I run it like now. I've been started for about 15 years now, 14, 13, something like that. All right, Dillinger should be back here in probably about an hour. They're having a slow time loading everybody out down there. It's colder and blue nuggets on a Alaskan day. So we're gonna kind of pit a little bit more here. I may go out there and hook the service truck and trailer. And again, I might go one up there and get that skid steer. I don't know. So stay tuned. All right, I'm in here doing some configuring, waiting on Dylan to get back. And this here is a piece of 2-inch, 1/4 inch thick flat bar, which is what we're gonna be using in here to make our exoskeleton. So what I'm basically doing is my brother welded this rebar on, and if anybody knows my brother, he welds stuff to stay. So instead of me having to cut every little, I wouldn't even want to, and he welded it on the bottom too. So it's welded on there good. So instead of me doing that, I think what we're going to do is we're going to start our flat bar, because I want to pull this tailgate off. And that way I've got it laying there so we can start working on it. Plus the tailgate will be off so when we're working on the bed. Because I don't want to be climbing over the side of this bed all the time. So I'm trying to get it engineered or see what I need to do. And I'm thinking I'll weld that flat bar right up against the end of these. This is a piece of flat bar that I welded in years ago trying to tighten the tailgate up. You can see, I mean, that's just from abuse. I mean, I abused this truck in the bed getting started. I mean, that's what you do when you get started. You do more than what you should be doing with what you're doing it with. It's just the way it is. And that was me, and that's me dropping big rocks and everything else in the bed of this thing, trying to make money. Now, I think I got a pretty good idea of how I'm going to do it. And I got 4x8 sheets coming. So I'm gonna call my brother and to make sure he thinks the same thing. But I think I'm gonna run the sheets, 4x8 sheets this way. So this is 7 feet on the inside of this body. So I'll cut a foot off and then just lay the 4x8 sheets. So there'll be 2, and then I'll have to cut that piece out to go around the doghouse. And I really think that's the best thing to do. That's gonna put me putting a bead this way and then putting a bead through the center where they meet and then beating that up. And then of course, wherever the flat bar is, I'm gonna try to cut a hole out every so often, and then I'm gonna fill that hole up. They call that a certain kind of welding, but I'm gonna fill that hole up. And then I've got some, I mean, this thing is just crazy how this thing is just beat up. I don't remember doing all this, but this was probably from my thumb. In a hurry, take the tailgate off. I just reach up at the thumb of my excavator and bite the tailgate and pull it off, and that was not a good idea to do. But who knows what was going on in my mind at this time, so. And this is the same thing. We'll probably have to take a torch, kind of heat this up a little bit, take a hammer and beat it down, make it good and flat. And then I'll either run, I think I've got enough extra flat bar laying around to fix this. And most likely what I'll do is, I'd like to have a piece of angle iron, inverted metal up. That way it don't let anything sit on top of the tailgate like when you're hauling gravel. But either way, I'll probably take a piece of flat bar, similar to this, and run across the top. Try to straighten that up a little bit. And then I'll take a piece of maybe an inverted 2-inch angle. I think I may have a scrap piece of that laying around. Or I'll just take a piece of inverted angle and cut the notch of it off. I'll cut the end of it off like we did on the other machine, on the other project. And I'll just lay a piece of flat bar and cap it off on the ends, make it look kind of presentable. We'll just run it all the way across the top. That'll cover up all them holes. You'll never even know it was in there. I'll probably have to put a couple of pieces of scrap in this area right here to give something to weld to, because this is pretty mangled. But all in all, I think we've done got a pretty good idea about how we're gonna have to fix it. And it'll make the stuff come out easier, and it won't hold water as bad, and you know, all the good things. The bad thing about it is nobody will ever see this unless I got my dump body up. So my craftsmanship won't be as vocal. But we gotta make sure we put a piece of, probably what I'm gonna do is I've got my porta powers underneath there. I'll probably put my porta power in here. I'll take a chain and wrap it across, and I'll take a porta power and push pressure against that chain, because once I get the floor put in, then there's a piece of 6-inch flat bar. So if you guys can just imagine this, a piece of 6-inch flat bar that'll attach the wall to the floor, and it'll do like one of these numbers, and it goes all the way across. And I wanted that on there to add a little bit of strength to the wall, and to maybe hopefully keep the floor tied in good and tight. That was my idea. And this side here, I don't know, it's beat up bad, folks. I know you can't see from the camera angle, but this thing has got a big old belly in it. You can see right there the gap in between the tailgate. It's beat up pretty bad, folks. Old truck, there's a big old hole right there. I think I beat that one back straight or solid, that way I can haul gravel in it. I mean, it's just wore out. The truck, the dump body is just wore out. So, all right, let's get out of here, and maybe we'll go ahead and pull this tailgate off. All great projects start just like that. Just a big pile of raw material. We got this here started. These are our locks that go on the tailgate. There's one side of it. Here's one side of it. Already kind of put it up in place to see what she's going to look like and what we got to do to get it on. So we'll see what we can come up with here. All right, we got a set of locks tied on there. How these things work: put them, slide them on that notch, and you tighten it down. then your tailgate can't come open. And over the years of me delivering gravel, I have had my tailgate pop open before. Whenever you get to where you're going at, they just slide down there out of your way. Then you can tailgate your load of stone or whatever, and whenever you get done, flip him back up, tighten him back down. And they're pretty much solid. Works pretty good. And if you just want to take them off for a while, you can pull this little pin here out and you can pop them out of there, and then you don't have to have them on all the time, but they work pretty good. On to the next one. Well, we got that in. Probably see a little bit of a bow in her now, can't you? Still got a little bit of a bow in it, but I'm telling you, that is rough right there by Jingo's now. That is rough. You'd have to shim that up over an inch to get it all out of there, and as the old saying goes, good enough for the girls I go with. We're starting to plate this tailgate, and it's still got a pretty good bow in it too, but what do you expect? I'm putting this on there. Got this side tacked in pretty tight. Got this side tacked in. I'm getting ready to bebop down through there, putting in some stitches. Then I'm actually gonna flip this tailgate up so that way I can weld in real good. I don't think I'm gonna beat it either. I think I'm just gonna stitch weld it all together and leave it. I just don't feel like beating all that up, and I swear it ain't gonna make it any stronger, so what the heck. Let's see where we can plant you all. What you want kind of a view you're gonna get from there? That ain't gonna work. I'm trying. If I don't shake you off there, you'll be all right. I'll let you watch me stitch this in here. I'm just about ready to go to the house. I can tell you right now, I'm not feeling it today. I'm not sick or anything. I'm just not feeling like burning a bunch of water all day. That's not me starting and stopping. Something wrong with the welder. It stops and starts. Quite a few minutes. Now, we got the back end of it reared up pretty good. I beat this side down. Beat this side into submission. We'll go ahead and Now, this is going to be a little loud. What I got to do is I got to put a little stitch on that. Then I got to beat the poop off of it. Let's see. Here we go. Katie borrowed my meat gun, didn't it? Then I would have had to edit that out. Along with a whole bunch of cuss words, probably. Good enough. The girl's eye. What's that? I could probably put a couple stitches in that and beat his brains out. Probably get him down there a little bit. This pick is a good spot. Spot right here, little spot. Okay, I got an area too. She went that time, did you? Dad, get it. Beat him off too hard. My brother swears up and down my power problem was that my ground ain't good. I put that clamp on it, that's good help. Still doing the same thing, so not that my brother don't know what he's doing. Oh man, pretty good house. The older I get, the less. That's not about everything. Put one more on. What we got left, folks? Oh, we got to do that one more. Let's do this one more. Get out of here. My feet hurt. It's like a pregnant lady. How you looking at that? That old grinder stood right there that whole time. Never moved. Ah! That old D-ring's probably going to be right in the D-wheel. Let's see what she's going to look like. To get by without moving that D-ring or notch this plate out. I hope so, because I don't feel like knocking it out. Scoot it down just a little bit. Pretty good. Dillinger did a wonderful job. I mean, a wonderful job grinding, cleaning all this stuff up for me. Where's the other piece at? Ah! Just when I was getting ready to count him out. I'm getting ready to have to call him and give him a hard time. Tells me all the time This big kid. I know one of these days he's gonna leave me. We'll go on to bigger, better things. You can't blame him. Ain't he young? You know, he's got a whole life ahead of him there. He don't want to be stuck in some little rinky-dinky excavation company his whole life. God, I'm gonna miss him. I hope Oak stays. I think Oak's gonna stay too. Aha! This beer's gonna fit good. Steel's where I got my material at this time. I didn't go to the rock behind in harbor steel. That daggone place harbor alright. Got you over a barrel. Place will rob you. I don't care. I care to shake. You're just gonna shake. Place will rob you. Oh man, this is gonna suck. Well, they got a decision to make here. I can beat that thing into submission. Back it up a little bit, see what that does. This is where having two people would come in handy. I'll put you around here so you can see a little bit better. You all cannot be getting. Y'all still watching this? I mean, I'm glad you are, but what I got to do is I got to try to make these two meet. The other one's met pretty good, but I've got a little bit of grinding and finesse and cutting to do. But I'm trying to make these ones meet a little bit better. You can tell it tailgate's bowed. The way these things are lining up, not lining up. I backed him up there a little bit, trying to get him. You can't hardly fool with this stuff with gloves on because you've got to have, you need to be able to touch. That cut man done a good job. Let's see if we can't slide this. See if that'll take up some slack. See, there's a burr right there. I can get them all to fit about right. That's usually what happens. It kicks that side out. Fit about the best right there. We don't lose it. I get it a little bit closer here, then I'll tack it. Oh man, it's so close. I almost feel that recliner. Ah! There you go. You sit still, baby. No, come on. And I've done this kind of thing before and then come down here the next day and be like, what in the world was I thinking? I'm going to put a tack knot right here. I know I'm probably going to regret that. Why, shoot, yes. Better go way down. Probably grind him back off. I don't think I can. I think it's too far off to. Would you look at that? Daggit. Let's see what we can come up with. Let's see if this is going to work. I don't think it'll work, but we'll try it. She got to go down here. Don't think it'll work. It'll be too far away. That's pretty close down through there. But that tack right there is probably the one messing with me. Stuff don't like to bend very well when you pre-tack it. Yeah, just grind him off there. Feel the fabric of my recliner. I say if it wasn't a dang on boat, it'd be easy to go, but it won't. I think I can get it. Let me get myself in a great big old bind, and then I'll have no stuff. These helmets are junk. I'm too tight to buy another. These things you cannot keep them adjusted right. We might get him down there. You'd be surprised how strong that tack is. Oh, shoot. Well, here we go. Let's go back to beating the poop out of it, I guess. Gotta get him knocked down there. I think I didn't play basketball. Even though it's not a darkening helmet, it still ain't bright. Hey, we might get him. may have messed up. May have to go back and grind on it. I'm sticking way up here. Let's get us another piece of steel. Try this piece here. It may go down there. I don't think it's going to though. Just put that big old tag. Something moved. Using this hat for more than, or this head for more than just a hat rack. I should have built a new tailgate. Got him, folks. She beat down there. She straightened out. Looks good. There's a couple good. An awful lot, but we got it. Yeah, we'll slide him down here a little bit. No gloves. This bad hat. Now, Harbor Freight. I know I hack on them a little bit every now and then. I buy a lot of tools from them. Let me tell you something. These old gloves, hey, can't beat it. This good. I've got a lot of years, a lot of miles on these gloves. Got a lot of miles on those gloves. Pretty good little stitch. Maybe put one on this side. I think it's going to look pretty good. I don't know. I even told Dillinger, I was like, I should just put a piece of plate over the whole thing and just made a big smooth tailgate out of it. Yeah, but he said it. Then would really show the bow. He's right. It would show the bow bigger seams. persuader. The persuader. Yeah, we put a little bit on it. Trying to give him a facelift, and here I am putting more dents in it. Amen! Pretty good on that one. Use that D-ring to lift it on and off the truck all the time. I hauled probably 1,200 feet of logs in the back of this truck. That's the reason why the bed looks like it does. One little section left. I don't think I want to clamp it. I think I can beat it down. I think she looks good, folks. Mercy said the preacher. Probably stick a piece of 2-inch in behind that. I ain't cutting it out today. I meant to tell him to cut me a piece. Forgot. She's plated. All right, folks. I'm gonna cut him off right here. Appreciate y'all watching. If any of y'all still watching, she's pretty well built. I'm gonna put a piece of 2-inch. Because if I don't, this is gonna make it look like poop on a white duck. So what we'll do is we'll put us a piece. Let me get the camera down where you can see what I'm talking about. We're gonna run us a piece of 2-inch all the way across the back right here, and then we'll tie it into that. There should be enough there. I may have to heat these up, and we'll pop knots. I may have to take a torch, heat them up a little bit, beat them in to where we can get them covered up. We're gonna cover all that up. And I ain't solid beating any of this. I'm gonna put stitches in it. This right here is about the what I'm gonna do. I may stitch a little bit of it up tonight, just so it could be cooling off overnight, whatever. But that's about all I'm gonna do to it. We got the locks on, y'all seen them. Those on, got all that beaded up real good. It's all welded all the way around. I made sure I did that. I forgot one thing before, I had to back up and do it, but fixed all them. Got this in here, we're gonna put our plate right on top. You guys can catch on that tomorrow. I'll probably put this video together tonight and get it spit out. So that way I have some room tomorrow to capture some more moments. So thank y'all for watching.